Parashat Vayeitzei. In a world so full of conflict and brutality and complexity, you just want to open up your biblical text sometimes and have a bit of an escape. The world which is supposed to be perfect, a world where people connect with God. And what do we find? Right at the beginning of the Torah, you have chaos, and then you've got family chaos with Cain and Havel, and Adam and Eve don't listen to Hashem. And we get to Noach, and it's more complicated. Avram has to go to war. Yitzchak has his wife taken. Yaakov, he's got his chaos with his brother Esav. And even when he finally lies down to go to sleep, we have this fascinating story told to us in the Midrash of the stones under his head quarreling. And in one version, it's not just a collection of stones, it's precisely 12 stones. So no, I do not believe stones were fighting. If you want to believe that, great, enjoy, live with that interpretation. But if you're looking for a philosophical undertone to this story, let's continue. Yaakov represents in mystical ideas Tiferet, splendor, beauty, bringing together the quality of Avraham, his grandfather, which was Chesed, with Yitzchak, his father, Gevurah. Two extremes. Kindness without barriers is just you're going to get carried away. You're going to turn into a shmata. You're going to fall apart. But Gevurah, if everything's barriers and stern and strict with no Chesed, what type of life is that? Yitzchak and Avraham need a Yaakov to fuse them together. Those stones fighting under Yaakov's head represent another layer of chaos. Yaakov's on a mission. He's got to get married, going to create a family, create the Jewish people. How do you synthesize which value becomes the most important? How do you know when it's time to study Torah, time to do an act of kindness, time to daven, time to learn one aspect of Torah or a different aspect of Torah, to daven quicker, to daven slower? Which kindness do you do? Which mitzvot do you do? Life is chaotic. This desire to escape is a nonsense, because not just the world outside is a crazy place. Life is meant to be that way. It's always full of challenges. And somehow, part of our life is to create order from chaos, to synthesize, to bring it all together. And so Yaakov lies down to rest onto his journey. How am I going to create a nation with competing important tasks? There is no one task that's most important. You can't have one without the other. We need to complement each other. It's impossible otherwise. You need people to earn the money for the scholars who are going to study and raise the spiritual level in order for them to exist. And if we only worked, we would forget our spiritual values, and we would be no greater than an animal that goes to work on the field as well. And you need the artists and the comedians and everything, and the music and life and sport. You need everything in a nation to make it function properly. So how do we do it? Well, we're not a Yaakov, but to run away from complexity is also not the answer. I think the stones tell us this week we will find ourselves in life, even at those moments where you just want to lie down and go to sleep, where you're desperate for calm. So often it's those very moments where Hashem says, okay, I want you to appreciate there are competing values and competing needs and responsibilities. How are you going to make one stone out of those? How are you going to prioritize? The good news is we've got the Torah and Halacha and Chazal and Midrash and Nevi'im, everything to guide us on that path. Not to run away from it, the mistake. And that's what I think the stones are telling us. To be alert to the fact that life is more complicated than we would like it to be. Good luck in working out your priorities. Shabbat Shalom.